Oh, hi there. Glad you could make it. Welcome to Quilting Cowboy, the beginning of Christmas edition. I don't know what you were expecting exactly, but I promise you are ill-prepared. Get ready, because this is going to be some fun. Dashing through the snow, I know, no one-horse open sleigh. Hooray!
Through the fields we go, shut up.
Laughing. Way. Oh!
One more time.
Mitzi. All right, so I know we're starting a little early, but with all these ideas that I have, like we kind of got to get on. Oh, hey, Eva, what's up? Oh my God, she just farted. Ava, come here. Come here. Say hi to everyone. Ava, come here. She's not having it. Anyways, where was I? Yes, you too. So yeah, just so that people have time to actually do the Christmas projects, I wanted to get a jump start on it because I have so many that I've been doing for years that I wanted to share with you. And I also wanted to show you my Christmas quilt that I made last year. Hooray! Look, I love, love, love it. Isn't that cute? So like these blocks were actually like little panels, like within a pre-printed thing that I kind of cut out, and then I fussy cut these, just did a 9 patch in between the panels, right? And then just did a little fussy cut in the middle there, and I'll show you a close-up of that. I'm super excited about this project. All right, here it is. Look how cute this is. I just love this project. And I love the treatment of the bottom too. Just doing a little bit of sashing in the middle of the borders, I thought was super fun as well. All right, so anyways, that's my Christmas quilt that I did last year. Happy to share it with you. All right, so what we're going to be doing this week is a pretty simple project, and you can do this with kids, no problem. So we're going to be doing Christmas trees for display, and just little ones, right? And there's 2 ways that I like to display them. Obviously, you can do it in a dome. These are not super expensive. You can get them at Michael's. They're about under 20 bucks, right? So I love to do that. It also kind of keeps the dust off it and things like that. But the other way is a little more complicated, kind of in a box like this. And I also got this at Michael's, and it's just a little wood box, right? That we're gonna do. And this way is actually a little bit easier if you're gonna use lights, because the lights come with a little battery pack, right? Let me show you this. Hold on, there we go. So it comes like this, and you just have to be aware that you have to hide this little, right? See how it lights up? This little box here that holds the batteries actually down in it. So when you're doing this, this is a great option, because then you can kind of cut out a piece of styrofoam, the exact size, and then cut out another little box to put this in, and then kind of it's free form, right? You don't have cords and wires hanging out. Anyways, so we're going to do a couple different versions of the trees, and then you can decide for yourself what you like best and what kind of display options that you like for your project. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to be doing everything from fairly simple to much more elaborate. So depending on your skill level and whether you're doing this with kids or not, you can determine for yourself what you want to do. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to be doing is this project here. And essentially we're just going to be wrapping it, right, with yarn or something else like this. Now, for this project, it's important that you also make sure that you have some type of trunk or way to affix these trees into the base, right? So I found these super simple blocks and sticks, right, just available at the craft store, or any type of, short doweling, something like that. But it is really important so that you have like a tree trunk, right, and also a way to attach this to the base. Okay, so let's get started with just the smallest one, and we're going to be pulling from my yarn stash, right? We have a couple different options here. Oh, and I found this shiny yarn, right? And that's really fun too. So that's another option. And so we're just going to take it and essentially just start to glue gun it, and then just wrap it and glue it onto here, right? And then putting the stick in and then putting it in here. All right, so let's just start with that. I really love this one here, and so I'm just going to work my way around it, working on some paper here so that I don't mess up my cutting table, and then just apply this and then wind the yarn around as I'm going. All right, let's do that. All right, so like I said, this is the most basic way to do it, and we're gonna get more complicated as we go on here, but I wanted to show you just this, and little hint, as you go up with the yarn, you're winding it up. When you get to the top, go back down, because if you only do one layer, you're still gonna see some of the styrofoam, and while maybe that's a look you're going for, I don't particularly like that. I like it to be really well covered. So we now have a bottom that is still white, and so what we're gonna do is essentially just cut out a piece of red paper here, and then I'm gonna glue that onto the bottom before I stick the bottom trunk into it. All right, so let me just make sure that I got that good enough. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna just cut this out and then glue it on the bottom. All right, paper's on the bottom. Got my peg and stick here, ready to go in. There we go. And then just ease that down there onto that there. There we go. First one is done. And I'm ready to move on to the second. The second one's gonna be slightly more complicated. I'm sorry, but this is adorable. Look how cute, right? It's got its little foot, right? And then at the top, I essentially did the same treatment, but I just bought these shiny stickers and I put one on either side, right? So no matter what side you're looking at, it still looks good. All right, so that one's done. All right. Okay, so for my largest and most complicated tree, what I'm gonna start with is just take my pin cushion and put, a pin every less than 1/4 of an inch, right? So just keep putting in pins, and we're essentially gonna be creating a way to almost weave this, right? And so we need something to hold against it at the top, because if you kept just like going this way with it, you'd end up with this big nub on the top of just kind of loose fabric, right? So what we want to do is secure this by creating a cone of needles that are just about the width of a thread apart, giving us stability to what it is that we're doing. Okay, so just go ahead and put your needles in all the way around, and then we'll start actually applying the yarn. All right, check it out. So I have my pins on the top, I have my pins on the bottom, which is twice as many, if not more, and then I'm gonna knot with this yarn, starting in red, and I'm gonna start from the bottom, because it's gonna be easier to hide the knots on the bottom underneath, right, rather than the top. So anything that's tucked down underneath here, right, it's gonna be easier to hide. That's why the pins are on the bottom like this, and not on the side like this. Okay, got it? All right, so for this biggest one, I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue right at the bottom, right? And then right at the top, and maybe 1 or 2 dots in the middle. You don't want a lot. That's why I use this tiny little glue gun. I just find it just does just a lot less than the bigger ones. And so when I'm doing small work like this, I don't want it to be, all gummy and gross. So I'll just run a couple little dots here that I know I can catch it on there, because I know where I'm going up from, and away we go. All right, see if you can see this. As I'm going along here, I'm just going up and down, right? And the top is super important that you get just a little bit of glue there, and then just keep running it back and forth, right? So I'm here. I'm gonna come up here to the next pin, find that, wrap it around there, and bring it straight back down again, right? And then find the bottom pin, and wrap it around that, Make sure it has glue to grab onto, and then take it back up. All right. Just like that. Just that easy. Now, one thing I forgot to say, I thought it was self-evident, but as I'm going through this, I'm thinking about, better mention, because you have twice as many pins in the bottom than you do in the top, you have to hit each pin in the top twice. So you do one on the bottom and then hit it once, one on the bottom, a different one, and then hit that same one again at the top and then keep moving on. Got it? So because there's twice as many needles on the bottom than there are on the top, you have to hit each one of the needles on the top twice and each one of the needles on the bottom once. Got it? All right, check it out. It's done. It's looking pretty good. All right. Now, obviously, I'm getting way more coverage up here than I am down here, but I'm not too concerned about that because the next process, we're going to attach the next color, right? I'm going to be doing white because I think it's going to help detract from any styrofoam that is being seen, right? Because the white will be going this way, right? And I'm just going to weave it around and around and around with a really long string, right? And then pull it through as I'm going. So I'm just gonna kind of weave it around this way as I go up. I'm not gonna, again, go too crazy, and then I'm gonna see how that looks like and if I need that third color of green or not, but I'd love to just do it in red and white. We'll see. All right, let's see if I can get a close up here of what I'm doing. So about every fourth strand or so, right, I'll go through and find one that's loose and not really glued down, right? And that way I know that I can grab that one and, here we go. See how this one's free? Right, so I'm just gonna grab this knot, shove it under, right, shove it under this loose one here, and then hold on to the knot. I usually put it in my mouth. And then just pull this through like this. Pull this through like this, right? It's still loose here. That one's glued down. And before I pull it tight, I'm just gonna drop a little bit of glue right there. And then pull it tight and press it down with this, okay? All right, see? I'm just going all the way around about every fourth to sixth stitch or so, thread rather. Just go under it and just keep going around. All right, check it out. It is all woven. I think it's looking pretty cute, right? And so now I'm gonna tie a green one up at the top here and then just kind of spin it on a diagonal and work my way back down just to give it that little extra red, white, and green Christmas effect. All right, this one is pretty much done. I'm just gonna take these pins and gently shove them in the bottom so that they hold that in place. And then I'm gonna address the top by making sure this is glued really good, right? And then putting a little circle of yarn at the top, and then putting a star, which I bought some really cool ones. I have these ones, but then I got some styrofoam ones too that I'll pull out in a second. And then we'll just put that on the top. And then, ta-da, super cute, right? All right. So I finished those first two. I'm moving on to the third one. Essentially what I'm going to be doing is I have 3 different colors of twine. I have green, red, hello, green, white. One more time. I have green, I have white, and I have red jute, right, or twine. And so I'm essentially going to braid them and then do the same way, the same treatment, just wrap it like I did, cross between the first and the second one. La 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 la, Christmas time braiding. My braid is done. Oh my goodness, look at this. Anyways, so I'm just gonna start from the top and just start wrapping it around like this as I go, right, filling up all the space all the way down. All right, check it out. I have done my trees. I have the one that I just wrapped the yarn around, and then I did the one that was braided, and then the one that was woven, right, to give you kind of 3 different textures. I have my box here that I have fitted with a piece of styrofoam and a little corner cut out so that I can hide some lights down there. And when I turn those on, ooh, let's see. Aha! Right? Now comes the fun part. Once you put the trees in there to actually start decorating with just stuff that you find. I found some really cool stuff that I'm very excited about using, like this stuff in the beading section, right? For a little bit of garland. It's super sparkly. I don't know if that's showing up. And little, you know, pine cones and little, oh, check these out, so cute. Little gift wrap presents. So cute. So anyways, now I'm just going to cut out some batting. Right, just from my spare, and then just lay that in there gently. I might glue it down just around the edges, but of course, leaving that one corner where I can access the light switch. And then, yeah, just stick the trees in, and then start decorating them, and shablam, you got yourself a project. Woohoo! So fun. All right, here we go. Glue this pretty good. And I punched a little hole down in there so it's a little bit easier to, there we go. Now, just hold it till it's upright, because otherwise when it's leaning, it's not cute. All right, so there's that. And then I'm also gonna be mindful of where is the front, right? In case it's sitting against a shelf or something and I have one side that's better than another. There is that. And then, next one, my seam ripper. Just punch a hole down in there, get it ready. Oh yeah. Next one. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna want to turn that one a little bit more. There we go. And turn the star. I thought I got the tree set. Oh, look, it's already so cute. Right? I love it. All right, I'm actually gonna replace this with this, and so just have fun with it, you know? If you have kids, I think that this is just so fun to do. And then last hole right here. There we go. Ha-ha. Oh, it's adorable, right? All right, now I'm gonna take my lights and I'm gonna wrap them around here, and of course hiding the cords. And then I'm gonna decorate them, and then I'll show you when they're done. Can you believe it? Are you dying? I'm dying. So cute. Look, I put a little person here, and I'll show you a video of that. But look, how easy is that? Right? And now I have another treatment for another tree that I might do a little bit later, and that one I'll put in the dome, and it involves fabric, but I wanted to just do one that you could do very quickly in case you have a housewarming gift or something like that that you want to do that's relatively easy. You can put together in an afternoon, and shablam, Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for tuning in.